I'm ready. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm not late. I'm
No,
not
you're not.
late, Crypt Keeper Aquatics. Sorry. I was trying to remember it without looking and, tripped over my words.
Yes, for once, Lisa is not late. For once, she didn't show up 3 minutes before I clicked the button to go live. Anyway, how is everyone doing tonight? We've been having a lot of fun coming in here on Thursday nights with no agenda and just winging it and seeing what happens. It's been a good time. We've enjoyed it. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Thank you. I think there's a contest now. People want to be the first to say the audio and video is good. And I think the winner this week is John K. We might be related with that name. You never know. And then let's see. We had another one come in. Yeah, because our first names are the same. That means we're family. Mark K. Danio Dad also said sound is good. And there was probably others too. Thank you all so much for that. That's never not going to be a thing. We could be streaming 10 years from now, and that's probably going to still be one of the first things that I say every single week because it's just ingrained in my head. There's going to be problems, and that's just the way it is. So, boy, did we have a lot of stuff happen this week, and none of it we can talk about.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's all stuff that is top secret. But it's going to be a big deal. And when it happens, it'll be a beautiful thing. And I can't wait for it. And finally got some news about it this week. Also, the other news that I got is yesterday, I got my plane tickets to Aquashella. It is official. No turning back now. It's just me. Sorry, folks. I know everybody wants to see this beautiful woman sitting across from me.
Oh, stop.
And you're going to be disappointed when you show up and it's just me.
They're going to have a great time. Everyone's going to have a wonderful time.
Well, of
and
course.
There's so many other people there that it's just going to be awesome.
Absolutely. It is going to be a great time. But no matter what you say, I'm still going to be asked the question 750 times. Where's Lisa? Where's Lisa?
You're so funny.
But
I think most people are going to know I'm not coming. Oh, they changed the picture on the Aquashella website, and it's so funny. John came up to me. He said, well, they took you off of the Aquashella website, and it made my picture go all the way to the bottom.
When it was the two of us, we were like the fourth person on the creator list, and now I'm all the way at the bottom, all down there by myself. But but no, at least I'm still on there, so that's good. But yeah, that was an important thing because if you were on there, and then people showed up and you weren't there, it was me they were going to be mad at. They'd be like, "What'd you do, John? Why didn't she come?" That's not.
No, I didn't. My fear was that they would get upset with Aquashella for saying that I was going to be there, and that wouldn't be fair to them.
That is very true. That's happened in the past, and people did indeed get upset about it. And you know what? Listen, if you look at the website, you see somebody on there, you're like, okay, now I'm definitely going because that person's on there, and then you show up and they're not there. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you show up and it's like, oh man, they were coming, but their flight got canceled. Right. But if it's a mistake, then I can understand people being upset. But you know what? Aquashella is on top of things. They've been doing this for a couple of years now with a year break in between, which was devastating. But the shows are amazing, and they're getting better and better every single time. It's a couple of people that put this show together, and the people. It's grown and grown and grown, and now they have like a general manager and a lighting guy and a video guy and a this guy and a that guy and marketing people and all of this. It's turned into a huge army of people that handle the show, and you can tell when you get there, you can see it. And something we never talked about after Dallas, but I was absolutely blown away by is the giant video screen that they added, which is like in that main walkway. That was incredible.
That was awesome.
And my mug was up there even a couple times because I was a speaker. if you're on the fence as to whether or not you should be going to Aquashella in Orlando in just a few weeks, don't be on the fence. Get your tickets now. Book your plane tickets if you have to. Get your hotel. Let me tell you something about that hotel. It is a resort.
Oh, yeah, it's so nice. And if you like plants, you're going to love this place.
I want to say it's like a 5-star resort, but I don't know if it's a 5-star resort. It's a Gaylord Palms. It's amazing. And the rooms are like a mile and a half away from the event because the place is so huge. But anyway, it's an amazing place. I can't wait for it. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yep.
I want to close this thing. I always forget to do it because then I can see you better.
Oh.
You have a couple of things that you want to do.
Yes.
I'm going to let you take over the show here. And
well, I wanted to say happy birthday to a special person in here. Happy birthday, Melissa Jeswald. I made you a birthday card. Happy birthday. Okay.
That's very cute. You did a really good job. And that she walked in with that thing. I was like, what in the world are you doing? And now we know.
Yeah. I made her a birthday card. Didn't send it to her, but I made it, and yeah. A special shout out.
I have
on
not
her
seen
birthday.
her in here tonight.
She is too in here.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah. And then there is something else I wanted to say to somebody. They may or may not be watching, but everybody,
I hope they're watching.
everybody should congratulate Joanna from the Smallscape. She reached 10,000 subscribers, and I made her a poster too. So, can you read it?
Yep.
Yay.
Congrats, the Smallscape 10,000 subscribers. That's a beautiful big star too. I like that.
Yeah, I have to shout her out. That's my girl. I love Joanna. So if you like little nano things or little scapes and stuff, you'll love Joanna's channel. So
I don't know who it was that I was watching. I was watching a YouTube video that had a couple of big channels on it. Not like Mr. Beast big, but big channels. And one of the guys said,
they brought up Joanna?
no.
Oh.
Somebody was like, yeah, you get to 1 million, that's a really big deal. And the guy was like, yeah, and 100,000 is big. And he said, but none of them were bigger than getting to 10,000. Oh. So 10,000 is a big deal.
It is a big deal. I remember when we got there.
Yep. I mean, I
took us
remember
longer.
it. I remember it like it was 2 days ago when that happened. I remember 100,000. I remember all of them. That's, as a YouTuber, what more do you have to kind of track your accomplishments?
Yeah.
That's a really big deal. And I think YouTube should have a plaque kind of thing for 10,000. I really think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not.
You work so hard to get to 10,000. I think from 1,000 to 10,000 is probably the biggest struggle.
Folks, if you're watching YouTube, if you see a channel that has 10,000 subscribers, you look around and you see a lot of channels. There are 300,000 and 750,000, and you're like, wow, those are the big timers. No, they're really not. There are so few channels that make it to 10,000.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody, and I got to admit, I do this. If you're somebody that gauges whether or not a channel is good by the amount of subscribers they have, there's a lot of channels that are under 10,000 that are really good. But I'm saying if they have over 10,000, that is like bona fide, legit. You're going somewhere. You've done a good thing. You put in the work. And so, yeah, it is a big deal. Congratulations, Joanna and Jason, because he's a big part of that channel too. So, yeah, that's very sweet of you to do that.
Well, I think a lot of her. She's a great person.
Let me do these real quick, and then I know you want to, don't be weird. You want to do the poll. I was pointing at the camera when I said don't be weird. Lisa wants to do a poll. Mary Paige Flynn.
Anyway.
Before we even started, she came in with the smiley face with the hearts before the stream even started. How about that?
She's so sweet.
Ligate 12. So I sold all my African cichlids because you was burnt out on them. I was burnt out?
Maybe they
I think he meant I was burnt
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
And decided to stock my 220 with Oscars, a
Nice.
biker, and a golden featherfin.
Aw.
Any recommendation for dither type fish? Yes. None. Because you don't need them.
Sure.
And listen, the concept of dither fish is to create chaos, is to get movement happening in the tank so that it diverts fish's attention away from wanting to fight each other. Any kind of fish that you would be putting into a tank like that you would consider dither fish are really going to be more like food fish, unless you went with silver dollars or something like that, which are great. I love silver dollars. I think they're really cool.
So
You
big.
put a nice little school of them in there, and they'll all be swimming around together. But I don't think it's necessary to have dither fish with South American fish. I just don't. I realize bikers are not South American, but I don't think you need dither fish. Everybody's looking to add more fish to their tank all the time, and I don't blame them. But you don't need to have 1 million fish in a tank. Man, that tank is dirty. It's embarrassing. But you can have...
There's algae on mine.
I know. This tank is impossible. It is one of my life's dream. It's one of my dreams in life to have an auto water changing system on that tank. Just flick a switch and it's done. And with those big fish in there, you need it. And listen, Ligate, you got some heavy hitters in there, and you want to put more in there? No, don't do it. Leave it alone. They're going to be fine. And I like your tank, even though I've never seen it, because Oscars, bikers, give me a break.
Right. Very true.
Callan Shepard became a member. Welcome to the team, my friend. Darth Lobster. I love that name.
That's cute.
I finally have an empty basement ready to remodel.
Ooh, that sounds like a fish room. Excuse me.
Legit considering a nice fish room down there. What's the biggest tank do you think can fit through an average house door and staircase? Doorways aren't as much of an issue as stairways are. Give you an example. This tank right here, you can't tell on stream, but it's 3 feet front to back, which means it's not going to fit through most doorways, because most doorways are...
Especially not a door that goes down to a basement and a staircase. And
Right. But it's only 24 inches tall. And this is what's funny. I was sitting in this room with Ted Judy from Custom Aquariums. He has actually retired, but he was with Custom Aquariums. Ted will always be part of Custom Aquariums as far as I'm concerned. And he made me aware. I don't know how I hadn't even thought about this. I was considering taking this tank down into my basement. And I just have a regular 30-inch walk door down there. And I'm like, can't get it through the door. I'm going to have to take the whole thing down. And he's like, no, dummy. All you got to do is turn it sideways and carry it through, because it's only 24 inches tall. Now, that is an option, but not in that door. The thing is, I personally, unless I have an army of people, I'm not taking a tank this size down any stairs. No. One step, like, that's fine. But I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to risk other people's bodily injuries on something like that. This thing weighs 750 pounds bone dry. So that's all I need to say. Right. But your question was, what's the biggest tank you think you can fit through an average house door and staircase? I personally would not go bigger than 240 gallons. You want to know how big 240 gallons is? You're looking at one. The tank right behind Lisa is 24 inches deep, 30 inches tall. It's a very tall tank, and 6 feet long. 240 gallons. Another Custom Aquariums product. Both of these are. That tank is very heavy. It's like 400 or 450 pounds with no water in it, but 4 decently sized people can carry that tank. And in fact, we've done it many times. My tank that's down in the basement, and the other house, I had a basement door that you didn't have to deal with any stairs, and we had 4 people carrying it. We had 2 other people there, but they weren't I was one of them that weren't really doing anything. 4 guys had all the weight, and it really wasn't that bad. When you disperse that weight or distribute that weight around 4 people, it's not that big of a deal. But this one needs more than 4. So anyway, 240. That's what I would do. 240 is not so big that you can't put it on the stairs and slide it down. You can't do that with this. Now, obviously, if it's a concrete stairs, like basement stairs, you wouldn't want to do that unless you built some kind of plywood. You understand what I'm saying? Don't go any bigger than 240. Done. If there were no stairs involved, I would tell you something very different. But stairs and big aquariums scare me to death because you only get to drop them once. And the tank is destroyed, and people usually go to the hospital. So don't risk it. Kellen Shepard's... Wow, I'm sorry, you skipped on me. Just bought a 75-gallon. What's the least amount of time I should cycle it? The least amount of time you should cycle it is the least amount of time it takes you to get nitrates in it. I know. That is kind of a cop-out answer, but I kind of have to be that way. You want your nitrates to be in it. You want your ammonia to go up, down. Nitrite go up, down. That can happen in a week. That can happen in 2 days. It can happen in 3 weeks. Once the nitrite's gone and you have your nitrate, then you should be good. So there's no way to put a time frame on it because I don't know what you have in it. I don't know what you're working with. But I've seen it happen very, very fast. What more do I need to say? And Jack, I'm just stopping by to say hello. You two keep up the great work.
Aw,
we will.
you.
Thank you very much, Jack. Leo, while watching while water changing the water for Greedo, let me just say, he doesn't like me adding stuff in his tank. Added some root tabs, and he was mad.
Ooh, yeah.
That's his space.
Right. He's like, don't put stuff in my space.
Yeah. I mean, get your hands out of here. This is my spot. Beat it. You want to do your thing now? We don't want to miss out on your thing.
Oh, well, okay. So I'll do a post from, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, honestly. So this one, let me just make sure. Yeah, it is. All right.
We had a controversial
I don't know.
poll a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And it had 10,000 votes, 222 likes, and 213 comments.
And she's going to read every single one of them.
I am not. Yeah. So the rest of the stream is me reading every single comment. So John can just go away. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So the question was, not everyone has the same opinion on this topic, but it is a thing. So let's talk about it. Is culling fish ethical? Now, if you guys want to talk about this in chat, you can. That's fine. I'm just going to go over some comments and give the percentage and stuff of what people said. But 62% of people said yes, 22% said no, and 16% said other because their they had opinions. But anyways, I'm going to read off a few. Let's see, I'll start with this one. Lincoln Cox said it shouldn't be accepted, but it either needs to be accepted in all forms or in none. There shouldn't be certain justifications for calling anything regardless of genetics. Jeff H. said, I feel it's acceptable in a quality of life or sparing from suffering situation. If it's purely due to your convenience or laziness, then shame on you.
Attaboy, Jeff.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds like me.
Desert Fish said, when done for the right reasons, I see no issue. Minor quality of life, not dollar value. I agree with that too. I mean, I don't agree or disagree with anything. I'm just reading off comments. Okay. Oretho said, I've recently seen a video on Camp Kennan where he visited a keeper of monitor lizards, and one thing he said actually resonated with me and made me think about keeping pets in general. Inherently,
Inherently?
Yeah. Sorry.
I just did that. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
You looked at me like you wanted help.
Well, it's like sometimes I can't even read my own writing. What we're doing is wrong, keeping animals in captivity, but while we do it, we should attempt to give them the most comfortable life possible. In essence, we're unethical for simply keeping fish in captivity, but since we do, it's our responsibility to give them the best life possible. If culling fish means moving them to a less crowded tank, I'm all for it. If it means euthanizing, there have to be valid reasons for it. If they can live out their life comfortably, then no. But if they're sick or disabled, then it may be in their best interest. Eric Kulakovich said, definitely depends on interbreeding and deformities since you want your fish to have good quality of life. Valerie Abisher said, I've always thought and been taught that if an animal is suffering and nothing can be done to save its kindest, to not make it suffer longer.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Because I'm not yelling at anybody, but I think some people maybe confused the question.
Well, there's
a very different, culling fish is very different from euthanizing fish. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people took that as, is euthanizing fish okay? Because a lot of people are answering, if the fish is sick.
I would take it that way, though. I would take culling fish.
Is that how you meant it?
Yeah, kind of.
Because culling is thinning out the herd, if you want to call it that.
Right.
Culling is
getting rid of the ones that are
not as desirable.
Yeah.
They're not the right colors. And this is done in breeding. It's not like I have 50 fish and they're all getting too big, so I'm going to kill half of them. I guess technically that would be culling. I don't even know what the definition of culling is, but I felt like you meant when you put that in the poll, culling as if like thinning it out to purify the strain and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
that's
I
kind of
meant
what you
it
meant
as
by it.
that, as well as if a fish was disabled, maybe not.
If the fish is disabled at birth, but I got a fish with a bum eye down there that you're medicating and fixing. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. If we decided to put that fish down, which we would not do unless there was no other choice, that wouldn't be culling that fish. That would be euthanizing. That would be putting it down. So I'm not correcting you here. I'm saying that I feel like there's a difference, but a lot of people lumped it together, and that's fine. I just wanted to specify that.
Well, this is the last comment. Maria Neighbor said, highly disagree with it. I don't think I will ever euthanize any of my animals unless they're on death's door already, like cannot move or eat, etc. I believe in nature taking the reins when it comes to things like death. But then again, I am no breeder and never will be, so it's a different situation since the animals I keep are all my pets that I'm emotionally attached to and not just some breeding machines I keep around for money. I think she was going more with what
she was
you
going
were.
with, and that's the whole thing, because they are very separate issues, and one I personally disagree with, and the other I don't.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to make sure. Oh, Bob said happy birthday. That's why I wanted to make sure I clarified that.
It's not my birthday. It's Melissa Jeswald's birthday. I guess people missed it.
Don't you know, Bob? We're having a birthday party. When we were breeding fish, and we bred fish by the thousands, there were fish that we did do what you could consider to be culling. You didn't? No.
I did not. So the thing is, what you're saying is you did it behind my back.
No. Oh, no. You were well aware that I was doing it. You just didn't watch it. I didn't do that because the fish were not desirable. I did that because they had massive deformities that wouldn't even allow them to swim.
Well,
I mean, it's not like I was like, that one's kind of ugly. Let's put it down.
We had Tyrion. He was so cute.
Yeah, but when I've told the story a million times, but I'm going to tell it again. We would sometimes, it was rare, but sometimes we would have fish that would come out that we just knew were doomed. They were not going to last long. It's not they were sick. It was that it was only half of a fish, or it was the real common one was a fish that looked like a horseshoe, and it would just sit there and swim around in a circle.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything.
But
they couldn't
they
swim.
usually ended up just passing on their own before we even had a chance, because those were common sometimes.
If we ran into those, I would take care of those.
See, and I thought they just kind of disappeared.
You are trying to act like you're the good person and I'm the bad guy.
No, I just thought they
I would tell you,
disappeared.
okay, I know what I'm going to do with this one. And you want to know what I would do with it? I would put it in a tank like this and boop, gone. Like it was never even
I don't
happened.
remember it that way.
You most certainly do. Or you need to take your senility pills because you knew I was doing it. Because I remember you would make a big deal out of it. You'd be like, I'm leaving, because you knew I was going to do that. And it would be like one fish at a time.
It was so traumatic for me that I don't even remember.
I didn't like it either. But in that particular case, that was better than that poor fish not being able to live.
Yeah.
It was not, we never did that, nor would we have done that because the fish didn't come out the right color. That was not something we would have ever done.
Right.
Because I'm not snobby like that. I'm not like, I'm trying to keep the sanctity of the strain. Whatever. To me, a fish is a fish. I'm not saying people who act that way are bad. That's just difference in philosophy. That's fine.
And
I
we
wouldn't be
had-
able to do that.
We had a lot of females. And you know what? They just lived the same way the males did.
Yep. I mean,
And people would come in sometimes, and yeah, females were cheaper, but that's just what you expect. And some people would be like, well, I'm starting a tank for the first time, with African cichlids, and they just wanted the females. They didn't even care.
we had that one guy that came in and all he ever wanted was females. Didn't even own any males.
Right.
He wanted the females because they were big and they were like $5.
Yeah, yeah.
And he liked it because of that. And they were just gray peacocks, but that was his thing. That's what he
Yeah.
wanted.
Sort of like me with the female betas. I'm just like,
Yeah,
save
but-
all of them.
Female betas are a lot prettier than female peacocks, unless they're dragon blood peacocks. Then
Or
they're
the OBs. The OBs have some color in them sometimes. But their
Not-
patterns
yeah,
are
a
interesting.
pattern. Yeah, that's what I would say. It's more of a pattern.
Yeah.
But on the topic of euthanasia, that's something I do fully support if it is the thing to do. I mean, I've had to do that with dogs. I didn't personally do it.
Right.
Handed the dog over and the vet did the thing. So I wouldn't be opposed. I don't know that we've ever done that.
What?
Actually put a fish down. Like a sick fish or one that's, on death's door. Shame on us. We've always just tried to get them fixed. I'm somebody, and I'm not trying to start a big debate here because I'm looking at you, camera lens. I really don't care what your opinion is on this, but I'm somebody, not you, the camera. I believe that there should be human being euthanasia. I'm not going to go all into it, but if I believe in that, then I'm not going to object to fish euthanasia. Not a fun topic to talk about, but there is a big difference between that and quote unquote culling fish. Cause culling is usually like, oh, those are bad. Get rid of those. And I can't do that. I'm too soft to do that when it comes to fish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that I think we could do well by culling them, but
John, I mean, are you trying to get the,
bad people, I mean.
the live stream just shut down?
No, I mean, listen, I'm making a joke, but yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I didn't mean to take over your segment there, but
All right. Well, I have another poll if anyone's interested.
well, let's do a little bit of the chat first.
Yeah, we can do the poll in a little bit. And you know what? If you guys don't want to do the poll, just say no more polls, and that's fine. We don't have to. John thinks that we shouldn't do polls on the live streams, but I think they're fun. But anyways.
Mary Page Flynn just said, John, I hate to say it. Why do you hate to say that you agree with me? Hate to say it, but I agree. It's hard to know when to end something like our pets suffering at the end of life. I just better not say anymore. Yeah. I think the coolest job in the world, like our daughter expressed an interest in possibly not becoming a dentist and instead becoming a veterinarian until she found out that part of the deal of being a vet is you got to put dogs and cats. She's more of a dog person. You got to put them down. And that's the thing that would have never allowed me to do that thing. I have so much respect for veterinarians because I could never do that. And I don't, but I understand a lot of people don't look at it that way.
The bad thing, what's sad is, veterinarians, they're not just putting down sick animals. They're putting down sometimes because people bring them in and they don't want them anymore.
That's even worse. Or
they have to visit, kill shelters or something where they have to put them down because they just don't have room for them. And it's like, that is a job. There's no way I could do it. Mm-mm. No, I mean, I would not do it.
Nope.
And I'm not saying that they're bad people. I mean, that's their job. They're making it, I mean, I don't know how to explain.
It's a noble thing. It's admirable that people can do that kind of thing. Just like hospice care workers.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a very, very special person to be able to do a job like that. And I'm not one of those people. Mm-hmm. I'm too soft. I could not do it. So just like that, veterinarians, they have to have that kind of wall up too, to be able to detach from stuff like that. I'm the kind of person, you and I, we want to have chickens someday. Hmm. And I'm a huge egg eater. She gags when you talk about eating eggs. Yeah. I absolutely I could live on eggs. So to have these cute little birds running around that produce free eggs, that's a beautiful thing. That'd be a lot of fun. I could never, unless it was the apocalypse and Rick Grimes was coming over the hill holding Carl, and he'd just been shot by a guy that thought he was shooting a deer. Some people will get that reference. If it was during the apocalypse, I got to do what I got to do. But if it's, these chickens run around in my yard, I can't do that. I mean, we'd have to be awfully desperate, because to me, that would be like killing one of our dogs to eat it. I just couldn't do it. But I understand that so many people are the opposite of me. I mean, and so I don't know what got me off on that tangent, but it was Mary Page Flynn. That's who. But Furloughs Aquatics came in and said, "Happy Thursday. I scored some fire at my local fish store tonight.
Cool.
And I'm acclimating them as we speak." You're not going to tell us what they are? You got your hands in the tank now. You probably can't.
Right.
I mean, some fire, that means it's some pretty hot fish. What are we talking about here, Eric? Come on. Can't leave us hanging like that. Melissa Jeswald, thank you for the B-Day shout out. I'm so old. The only men interested in me are paleontologists.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, everyone.
Aww.
Hey, listen, how many people are in here right now? Almost 600 people in here. There's got to be a single dude in there. I don't know how old Melissa Jeswald is. Who cares? There's got to be some single dudes in here. Hit her up. Prove her wrong.
Sorry, Melissa.
But don't do it if you're a paleontologist, because then that's just weird. You need to find one when I read Evan Rifkin's here. Hey, John and Lisa, got you on the living room TV tonight.
Oh, Lord.
With the fire roaring, the snow has fallen, the dogs a-cuddling. That sounds like a Merry Christmas little Christmas carol.
I know, it sounds so sweet.
Evan, are we going to see you in Orlando in a few weeks? I mean, I know you made it down there last year. I'm not talking about you in my talk this time, so you don't have to worry about that. But I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry, Evan.
Oh.
But hope to see you in Florida, though. I felt terrible with him. I walked right past him in Orlando. Didn't even know it was him. He was like,
rude.
John.
Delilah's Critter said, vets will turn those owners away. It is your right as a medical worker honoring an oath to care for animals to say no to that. That's good to know.
I mean, that is good, but then there are the ones that, you have the dog. We've had dogs that were at that point of no return, with Daisy, and then I had that with my poodle where it was like, it's the end. And, they're going to take care of those. And those would be just as hard to me. Yeah. That would be super hard, but there's no way I could just put an abandoned dog down. No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Kyle86 looks like has Eddie Van Halen, the late, great Eddie V, as his avatar. Maybe not. Maybe you look like Eddie Van Halen.
Cool.
I have a bottle of Fluval Grow Plus for my plants. How many times should I put it in my tank? I have a 5-gallon with a betta fish. Are you familiar with Fluval Grow? Because I am not.
I mean, if it's similar to, I want to say if it's similar to Easy Green, then you put in half of the 10-gallon dose, but I don't know. I've never used that.
Yeah,
I've
Kyle,
used
there should be
the tabs.
there should be directions on the bottle. But also, a good thing to do would be to monitor your plants.
Right.
And if your plants are withering away and, you've got plenty of stuff in there for the plants to, nitrates and things like that for the plants to feed on, if they're wilting and they need a boost, well, you're not putting in enough. And if they're bright green and growing like crazy and you got algae, maybe cut down on it a little bit. Let the tank tell you how often you should do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like water changes.
MNC Aquatics asked, at KG Tropicals, if you were to set up a 46-gallon long with South American cichlids, what would you stock it with? Jack Dempsey's?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I'd probably do electric blue Acara. Because they stay smaller.
They're pretty.
Gorgeous.
But you put like...
Jack Dempsey's get too big. 46 gallons? No way.
2?
We'll put a few of them in there, yeah. Or...
I was talking about a Jack Dempsey.
But Jacks get bigger than you think. It just takes them a long time to get there. I mean, I've had them before.
You've never had one that big.
I most certainly have. Are you kidding me?
I haven't.
How
the
dare
largest
you.
one we had was like this big.
The jokes I could make right now, just stop. We've had some good-sized Jack Dempseys.
Okay.
Ligate, what tank? Oh, here we go. What size tank do you recommend for a baby shark? Do. You gonna sing it? You are now.
No.
In your head, you're singing it, and that's exactly why he did that. He or she. I think it's a he. It's a he, right? We did establish that.
Elias Fish Room asks, any recommendations on tank mates for a few comet goldfish in a 40-gallon? I would say no tank mates. I would just leave that alone because comets get really big. So if you have 3 in there, don't put any more fish in.
I just saw, it's from Tamal, said, love from India. I watched a documentary the other day that was like 45 minutes long about India. 2 nights ago. More specifically, about the Statue of Unity. I'm fascinated by that statue, the biggest statue on Earth, and it is magnificent.
Cool.
I know his name is Patel. I don't know his full name, but it's a statue of a man named Patel.
Aww.
And he brought all of everything. He's a very important person in Indian history. I don't know Indian history, but I was fascinated by watching the process of how they built this statue that's like bigger than the Washington Monument. I mean, it's massive.
That's cool.
You should look it up. It's really cool. So hello. Thank you for the love from India. You must have known that I was looking into your history the other night.
Kelly McCloskey said, hey guys, off the topic, but I'm new to this. I recently tagged you in a TikTok. Are you all okay with that? I want you to see my tanks, but promote you to my friends because I love the 2 of you. I don't care. I see sometimes, I mean, I didn't mean I don't care that you love the two of us. I meant I don't care if you tagged us in a TikTok. I see that sometimes, and I try to comment if we're tagged, so that that I saw it. But thank you.
I don't go on TikTok unless I'm forced to by this young lady sitting across from me.
I send them to him all the time. I'm like, this is so funny.
The reason why I don't go on TikTok is because it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible website.
No.
Because there's more time wasted.
I get so caught up in it that
There are absolute geniuses on that platform that are creating 60-second long little masterpieces.
Carolina Mama.
And you just watch them.
I love her.
And you keep watching and you keep scrolling.
She is so funny.
And I hate that website. I hate it.
I love it.
Many hours of my life have been lost on that website. Wasted.
Carolina Mama is hilarious. She's like, I didn't get married to live this way. And I love the one when she went to the gas station. She had to put air in her own tire. She's like, I'm out here looking like single ladies or something. I was like, oh my God, it's so funny. Sorry. Go ahead.
To put it in context, what she's talking about, this young lady puts a filter on her face that makes her mouth huge and makes her like a cartoon character, and her voice is a cartoon character.
Yeah, she is
and
my favorite.
She basically complains about her husband, and it's hilarious.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
I love it. Like the Christmas party one, when they went to the Christmas party. Oh my God, that's so funny.
The whole reason why you like her is because she says, I didn't get married to live this way.
I would love to meet her. I think it'd be fun to do a TikTok with her.
That website it's too addicting. You fall into it, and then all of a sudden you realize you've been watching it for an hour and a half, and it's like, I could have watched 2 episodes of Peacemaker, and instead I watched this nonsense. I'll never get that time back. Peacemaker's a great show if you haven't watched it yet. Danielle Grass, sorry. I keep having heaters fail in my 10-gallon. What's a good, reliable heaters you guys recommend?
What do we sell?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, listen, it should be, this should be common sense, but you do have to explain this to people.
Right.
We carry the Eheims, we carry the Aquatops because we use them. I've got them in my tanks. I mean, I don't have them. I have Eheims in this one. In fact, I used to have one right there, but I put it down in the sump. I use 2 300 waters in that tank. I have 2 Eheims in my 240. I have Eheims, and I have Aquatops and all the other ones.
And I forget the ones that I've used in my 10s. They're not the brands that we have, but they work just as well too.
The Aquion presets, we've used a lot of those.
Yeah.
And they work fine. I mean, but the biggest thing when you buy the small presets, I mean, we sell the Aquatop presets. They work great. In our experience, they work great. We've sold a ton of them. The 25 watt is a good unit for 10 gallons. But no, actually that one's up to like 8 gallons. So don't buy that for your 10-gallon tank. But really, you get what you pay for when it comes to heaters, period. I mean, when you go to the store and you buy a $12 one, it's going to work. It's going to be fine, but you just can't really expect it to last for a really long time. You spend good money on one, one of the $25, $30 ones, then you're going to get much more life out of it. A little 50 watt, you should be good to go. I would certainly recommend either of the ones that we carry on our website. That's why we carry them on our website, because we use them. Therefore, we sell them.
Rustic Nashville said, I use Fluval liquid and tabs. Go by the directions. It works. Thank you for helping with that. Appreciate that. And Delilah said, I do not tick the talk.
Well, see, she doesn't waste a whole lot of time.
And Katie UPS are living a dream says, ha ha ha. I agree, Lisa. She's a hoot.
Oh, she's hilarious. I'm not trying to say that she's not. I think Carolina Mama is the best on TikTok. Of course, other than that one girl. What's that one girl's name that we know? that's on TikTok? What's her name? You know, the one you gave birth to.
Oh, my kid? Yeah, she has a TikTok. It's pretty big. But anyways, there's that.
Would you like to say?
No.
Okay, fine.
I'm in one of them.
Except for her, Carolina Mama is my favorite. But don't tell anybody else that. It's either Kiva or Keva. I'm not sure how to say it. Hope things are going well. Wanted to know what your best practice is for dealing with fish that have recently passed away. This is a sore subject. We talked about it just a few weeks ago when I had a few go down all at once. A lot of people don't like my view on this because people believe that you have to have time to grieve and all of this. But you know what? We all do it different ways. My way of dealing with that is to go and get another one. That's what I do. Because that's going to take your attention away from being sad and put your attention on to the new fish. And you can start a new friendship and a new partnership with this new fish. That's how I've always done it. I've been criticized for that. Whatever. I don't care. You do things your way. I do things mine. But I've even done that with dogs. And, you know, it's not disrespectful to the dog that passed. It's like, hey, okay, I don't want to be sad anymore. So I'm going to go get another one. Or in the Chihuahua's case, 2. That's just how I do it. So get out there, get you another one. It doesn't mean you've forgotten about the one. It just means this is how you're choosing to move forward. Fish Tank Barn is an expert. He says there are different definitions of culling. You can move the fish to a new tank where it isn't allowed to breed, or you can terminate the fish. That's a very good point. I mean, and that's what we did with our less desirable fish. Instead of killing them, well, we don't have to use a fancy word. Instead of killing or disposing of those fish, we would keep them and they would live with us. And we had a tank full of special fish, and one of them we called Tyrion, and it was because he was stubby.
He was so cute.
Tyrion caused quite a stir this week. I don't know if you saw that on social media, but he got himself into some trouble this week.
Oh, you have to tell me all about it after the stream.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it on the stream. I've done enough damage tonight on the stream.
George Howard said, "Hi guys, if you see this, I just want to thank you so much. It may just be a fishing YouTube channel to some, but I found you at a really bad time in life and you gave me an escape, and I'm so grateful." Well, we're really glad to be here for you, George.
How about that?
Welcome to the stream and welcome to the channel.
This is a beautiful community to be involved in. If you're going through a rough patch, you know, there are some people that do things that are not helpful to making you feel better, but there's so few that do that kind of stuff.
There is so many people in the fish community that are awesome.
Overwhelming majority of the people are
streams.
Happy, friendly, thankful for being able to do what they do and spread joy and love. And that's a beautiful thing.
One of the, okay, so I don't want to get in trouble from other people for shouting one person out and saying how much I like their stream better than anyone else's, because that's not at all what I'm doing here. But I like to give credit where credit's deserved. And there is a person that does probably 99% streams on their channel, and they really build the community, and they're awesome. And if you're ever like bored one day or just want to be part of the fish community, I would say go check out Rico Stan.
I was just about to interrupt you and say, I bet you're talking about Rico Stan.
He has a great personality, and the people in his chats are fun to chat with, and you know, you'll have a great time. So he streams almost every single day, and he has a live stream later on tonight after this one. So it's not right after this one, but it's like a couple streams after this one. But I think you'd enjoy his channel if you like to just be part of a community.
You know how if you're in a kind of a just an ugly mood and you turn on like Bob Steenfott's live stream, you're like, ugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't go to that stream. We're talking about going to Rico Stan's stream.
When you go to Rico Stan's stream, you can
Just
be in a
kidding,
bad
Bob.
mood and you'll be like, oh, I just want to punch a hole in the wall. And then you see Rico Stan and you're like, oh, I feel so much better now. He's just got one of those faces that just makes you feel good. And everybody, listen, when I was saying there are people out there doing bad things, I was in absolutely no way making a joke about Bob Steenfott. I adore Bob. He knows that. I give him a hard time, and he gives me one too. So
Yeah.
that is not who I was referring to when I said there's people out there doing bad things. Fish fan 20 gallon long. I hope you enjoyed your meal at Chipotle. Still digesting that. Here is some money for some pizza.
Oh,
We had pizza tonight.
I had stromboli. I had veggie stromboli. It's my favorite now.
It's become kind of a required thing. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell everybody what really happens. What happens on Fridays? I'm not gonna tell anybody that.
You mean when I say, oh, I wish we didn't get that last night because I really want it tonight. And then we get it again.
That's what happens. And this is why I'm carrying
We
around
get it
25
from
pounds of winter
from
weight.
a different place though, so it doesn't feel like we've got it twice.
It's terrible. And it's all her fault.
It's so good.
I started
Aw.
my aquariums in 1973, but stopped in 2002. Thanks for catching me up to speed through your postings. You are very, very welcome. Wow, welcome back. That's, listen, I didn't start in 73. I was born in 74, but I've taken my breaks too.
That's a
We
long
have
time
to.
ago, John.
I will say what year you were born if you don't behave
It
yourself.
was after yours. Anyways, you hurt Bob's feelings.
It's because it's on a delay and he hasn't seen me clarify what I said.
We were just kidding, Bob.
And Bob is a master manipulator. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make me feel bad now. He's like, oh, I got one up on John. I can use that for 3 weeks now. Remember when you picked on me on your stream? That dude picks on me every day. So I don't want to hear it. The next one in here was him saying happy birthday to you.
Aw.
Mike's Turn to Aquatics. Interesting name. What's up, streamers and dreamers? Finally get to catch y'all live. Awesome weather today in Virginia Beach. I swear my little Oscar grew some within 4 hours.
Whoa.
Virginia Beach, you're right down the road from us.
Yeah.
It was rainy all day here today. How could it have
Yeah.
been so different in Virginia Beach? You're only
'Cause
like
it is. That's
like
just what happens.
2 hours and 45 minutes from us. But no, hey, Oscars, you don't want to blink because you're going to blink and you're like, what? How did that fish get 10 inches? I mean, it just happens. Adolfo Prieto. My Molly just gave birth the other day. First batch of fry as a fish keeper. It's really exciting. You will never forget that as long as you live, Adolfo. I remember my first. It was convict cichlids. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. It is a very special thing, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's very cool.
You know what? This is very random, but
oh
I
boy.
went to Petco yesterday, and they had obviously got some new fish in because when I went the week before, I just look. You got to look, even if you're there for something completely different. They didn't have any fish, and I even told you, I was like, I can't believe they had like no fish. So yesterday when I went in, they did have fish. And I saw a tank where there were 2 swordtails in there, both females. And then, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 killifish. And one of them was laying on the ground, barely alive. Because this one swordtail kept attacking it. It just kept attacking it.
Attacking the killies?
Yeah, and it would go up and attack the ones that were healthy, and it was just mean and vicious, and it would go down and start attacking the one on the substrate. And crazy woman here, sitting here banging on the tank, what you're not supposed to do at a fish store. I was really waiting for somebody that worked there to come and tell me to stop so I could get their attention. Didn't work. I did
Ma'am,
it.
we're going to have to call the police.
I mean, it was like 5 minutes of me doing this because I guess Petco is very understaffed right now. So the person couldn't break away from the register. And I'm sitting there, I'm just banging on it. And I'm like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And I was going to reach in there and get it, but I didn't, you know, because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I went up to that register and I told the guy, I said, earmuffs. Earmuffs if there's small children around. I said, you have a real asshole back there. You have an asshole fish, and that little fish is attacking the killifish, and you need to take care of this fish. And he's like, oh my gosh, ma'am, I am so sorry. I will go take care of this. And it was just, I'm not usually that person.
You were totally a Karen.
No, I was worse. I wasn't, hey, can I see your manager? I was like, right.
Oh, I mean, they know us in there. Maybe it was one that you didn't know, but I wouldn't have a problem going up and telling them in there because we go in there all the time for our dogs and cats and all kinds of stuff. So
I almost bought that stupid little swordtail to bring him home and put him right in his place, but I didn't.
we got a lot of tanks that could teach that fish a lesson real quick, but we don't talk about that kind of stuff here. Come on, lady. What are you talking about? UPS are living the dream. Hey, you guys, just like Sloth from Goonies, I finished my route at the perfect time. KGT live stream time. How about that? Y'all working hard these days. My UPS guy is in a bad mood quite a few days of the week these days because he is like running ragged. I've had a couple of times where it gets to be like 5 o'clock and we got fish going out and I'm like, he's not here. Can I text him and find out what's going on? I'm almost afraid to because I'm afraid he's going to be like, yes, I'm coming. Just leave me alone. That guy runs a million miles an hour all day long. I don't know how he's standing at the end of the day.
He's like really just full of energy though.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
shocking.
Melissa Graves, what's the best way to clean a diseased tank? All the fish passed away. It's a 55 gallon. Do I throw away plants? Help.
I would just clean the plants really good, like under hot water. And I mean, that's what I would do. Other people might say something else, but you're going to end up killing the cycle, but you got to get rid of the disease.
That's the thing. What you have to do in a case like that is disregard the aquarium cycle. You just have to be like, hey, I'm going to have to start over with this one and just clean it thoroughly. I would do, if it was something real bad, obviously it killed all your fish.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't like an ammonia spike, because that's certainly not something you need to clean the tank for. Disinfect the tank for is what I should say. You got to clean it. Or it wouldn't have. It would not have spiked if it was clean to begin with. You understand what I'm trying to say? Obviously, if you have an ammonia spike, you have to clean your tank. But when I say clean, I'm talking you had a massive, parasite breakout or something crazy, some kind of infection. Don't be afraid to use bleach.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're not going to pour bleach directly in there and then just hope it gases off. No, I mean, you're going to
rinse it really well afterwards.
You're going to use it diluted in water. I mean, if you want to be real on the safe side, do it like a 1 to 10, 1 part bleach, 10 parts water, scrub it real good, then rinse the heck out of it, let it air dry out completely, and then just start over. I mean,
some people use vinegar too. I mean, it's just
not necessarily to clean infections though, do they? Or like
just to clean a tank in general, to get it nice and clean again. I mean, if you're cleaning it really good and you use vinegar, you're getting it all out of there anyways once you're rinsing and stuff.
But like you said, even hot water, I mean, that's going to do the trick too. But if you really want to be on the safe side, don't be afraid to put a little bleach in there. No. But you have to make sure that bleach is 100% out before you fill it back up again and then start over. Start the whole cycling process over again. Hey, it's a new beginning. And yeah, there you go. Sidrath, Siddharth, I'm saying that horribly. Ayapa, probably saying that wrong too, and I apologize. Do not know what your currency is, but it's 100 of them. So thank you so much For that, I have a pleco with a white spot on his body, little reddish as well. I've used Pimafix for a week. He is active but isn't eating. Please advise, Lisa.
Yeah, but you know what? A pleco, what's in there with it? Because those things are usually pretty strong. You know? I mean, I just wonder, is it small? Is there another fish in there, like, biting at it or something?
Yeah, that sounds like an injury to me.
Yeah, I don't feel like... Plecos just are, they seem to be very hardy. I mean, how often do you hear of a pleco dying of a disease? I know it happens. It does happen.
And you rarely hear about them getting beat up either because they are wearing armor. Unless
it's like this big and it's in a tank with haps and peacocks that are that big, you know, it can happen.
Well, and you're automatically assuming we're talking about a common pleco too, and that's
right.
I was also, but that sounds like an injury to me. That Pimafix is not a bad thing to use, but that's something that is going to take time and clean water.
If it's just an injury, just water changes, keep it clean, put salt in there. Keep a close eye on it to make sure it doesn't get infected. Then you want to get like maybe an antibiotic, like
erythromycin
or Maricin or something, along those lines. But I would keep an eye on it. If it's eating good, swimming around good, I'd start with maybe it was getting picked on. It's kind of hard to diagnose when you don't have the full picture.
This is why I hate sick questions or injury questions, because there's just so I'm not trying to be a jerk, even though I am a big fat jerk. Everybody knows that. But there was somebody very early on in the chat that was repeatedly putting in the chat, all my fish died. Do you know what happened? No, I don't know. That's most difficult.
That's not enough information to help you with.
It is the most vague. That's like saying, I was late for work today. Did you know how fast I was driving? Like, how am I supposed to know that? That was a horrible analogy, but you know what I'm saying.
That was really not a good one at all. I mean, that's like saying, I gained 20 pounds. Do you know why? Well, we don't know how much exercise you've been doing. We don't know what you've been consuming.
I know why I've gained 100 pounds. Because of you.
It's not all about you.
It's because of you.
I'm talking about an analogy.
It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about you. It's your fault. Making me eat pizza 4 nights a week. And
you love it. You could get veggie. You could get veggie pizza just like me. But it's double pepperoni and extra cheese, large.
Well, if you're going to get pizza, you got to get it made right.
And a 2-liter of Coke.
Of course. That's my cheat meal. You make me eat my cheat meal multiple times per week, and it's all your fault.
My fault.
Angel, thank y'all for helping me get into this fish hobby. Well, you are very welcome. Thank you for turning to us to helping get you in. That's awesome. That's probably the best compliment ever.
Yes.
I mean, I love it. Leo came in again and said, I added 3 of the coop root tabs and the gel went through the substrate and is sticking out in the water column. Can that cause issues with Greedo? Not that I'm aware of. Don't be afraid to push it back down in there. Ain't going to hurt nothing.
And you know what? They're really, really, really good at answering questions at the co-op. If you're kind of concerned about that, shoot them an email and ask them, and they'll be able to answer better because it's their product. And, I wouldn't want to give the wrong information and say, yeah, that's terrible for your fish, because honestly, I don't know. And I don't think it is a product that would do anything like that to your fish. But you should ask them.
Yep.
Maybe you put one too many in, or, I'm not sure.
A lot of people commenting on the vegetarian pizza comment that you made. And I don't blame them because...
What?
But you know what? It is. I was a vegetarian for a while, and I kind of wish I still was. But and what I would do is I would get cheese pizza with extra cheese and jalapenos. If it wouldn't give me so bad heartburn now, I would still be doing that. But jalapenos on a pizza or banana peppers. if you don't want to go as hard as jalapenos. I don't feel like hearing from y'all that are like, jalapenos are for babies. Okay, fine, but that's as hot as I go. Jalapenos on pizza is good. If you can't hang with that, banana peppers.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because my son and my daughter-in-law, they used to live here, and she's Mexican, and well, we're not, and she would have
She is
spicy.
of Mexican descent. She is not Mexican.
Her parents
She is a
came
United States
over-
citizen.
Yes, her parents came over from Mexico. That is what I meant. No offense. So
She's a Mexican American.
of
How about
course she
that?
is.
There
And
you
my
go.
grandson is half Mexican American. So anyways, my point is she would laugh at us if we would, say something spicy. She's like, this isn't spicy.
Yeah, what
She's
do
like,
y'all
my dad eats these just like candy. And I'm like, God, I miss her cooking. I miss
Yeah.
her cooking.
Pineapple on pizza, anyone? I do. I like it. I like the Hawaiian pizza with the ham and the pineapple. I'm into that. Now I'm not going to choose that over just pepperoni, but I mean I'm not one of those people that hates on the pineapple pizza.
I mean,
think it's good.
pickles on pizza
See,
is great.
You frown on. You're so weird. What is it with this woman?
I don't know.
I love pickles. I can pull a pickle out of the jar, and I love pickles, but not on a pizza. It's just not right. It's not right.
You
Steve-
put them on hamburgers.
Yeah, but that's what they're made for. When they started soaking cucumbers in vinegar, they did that so that it would taste good on hamburgers, not pizza.
I don't know.
So weird.
I think they were just trying to preserve the cucumbers and they came up with pickles.
They were like, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
I love pickles. Stephen P. 2003, I'm not going to do it, gave the Hiya kitty because
Aw,
that's
kitty.
adorable.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Where did we see him? He was in Chicago.
No,
He was in Dallas?
It was Dallas. Yeah, it was Texas.
I was going to ask if we're going to... I haven't seen his name on any of the lists, so I don't know if he's going to be in Orlando, but you don't care anyway because you're a loser and you're staying here.
How dare you? I'm pretty sure Stephen P is going to I think it's the Triple Crown and the Tennessee one, I think. Aquaticon. Either both or one or the other. Something like that.
Wait a second. This person in the chat, TC, and we could never be friends.
Oh.
Because we would go to a pizza joint
Mushrooms on pizza.
and this
Yes!
idiot would have been like,
I love
I'll have
mushrooms.
mushrooms, please. And I'd be like, we're getting 2 pies because that's nasty.
I have mushrooms in my veggie pizza.
Well, that's
mushrooms,
nasty.
Olives, green peppers, onions,
That's nasty.
tomatoes. I haven't put pickles in lately.
Mushrooms are slimy and gross. There are very few things that I can tolerate mushrooms on. I don't hate mushrooms.
I like mushrooms.
But don't you
especially
dare
in
put 'em near a
spaghetti.
pizza.
Oh my gosh, spaghetti with lots of mushrooms is the best.
What I can't tolerate is big chunks of mushroom. If it's diced, okay. But if it's big, slimy, no, gross. I don't like
I don't
it.
like it raw, thrown in a salad. Just seems weird to me.
Jeff H. pooped on us. Why?
That's what he does.
Because that's what he does.
Definitely.
DeWalt Granger. Sounds like a tool reference there, but let me tell you something.
Oh, I've heard of that. Is that the black and the yellow?
Yes,
DeWalt, yeah.
I have a lot of DeWalt tools.
That's probably why I recognize it.
If your last name is Granger and your parents named you DeWalt, I would like to meet your parents because they are obviously amazing people. But maybe that's just your name on YouTube. But still, you did a good job picking that
Pretty
name.
good name, yeah.
I mean, because it couldn't have been Makita Granger. Well, I suppose it could. That would work. Milwaukee Granger? No, that wouldn't really work.
Are those other tool brands?
Craftsman?
Craftsman, yeah. That's a giveaway.
Rigid Granger, but DeWalt Granger, I think bravo to your parents if that's your name. Bravo to you. I'm all caught up here, so.
Oh, there's just a lot of talk in chat.
About mushrooms.
Connor Costello asked, Lisa, what kind of plants do you keep other than Monstera? Also, have you ever tried pickled banana peppers on pizza or really anything? They're so good. My grandma even makes them homemade. I love banana peppers and pickles very much on pizza. And as far as plants go, we don't have enough time to talk about that.
The house is full of plants.
I even have taken over a spare bedroom. Okay, the entire first floor, a spare bedroom, Kenzie's and while she's away at college, the hallway. I have a coat rack. You know, like what do you call those? Not is it a coat rack? It's what you. It's not a coat rack. It's the racks you buy for extra hanging things up. I have one of those with plants hanging on that up in the foyer. I've got a lot of plants.
It's a problem.
I even have boxes. I've got like 500 seeds that I just ordered to start more plants. Yeah.
Who is that person that asked that? We need to ban that person.
I
How
have
dare they?
Plenty of plants. And I thought about maybe on my channel doing like a walkthrough of my plants, because I don't want to put all these house plants on a video for a fish channel. Like, y'all probably don't want to hear about all my plants right now on a fish live stream. But I thought about doing just a walkthrough video on my channel, if anyone's interested.
The blind fish keeper is here. Well, I didn't get to meet Lisa last year at Aquashella, and now I guess I'm not going to meet her this year either.
I heard so much about you, though. I was really disappointed I couldn't meet you either.
Are either of you going to accept my challenge? What's the challenge? I am not familiar with what the challenge is.
He was on Drew's last live stream, wasn't he?
He was.
Gosh, Drew's had some really awesome people lately on his stream, and I've been missing it. Like, I'll go on for a little while, show my support and say hi, and then I have to get off because I'm not able to stay on for too long.
Edge of Society Prod. John, if you could be at the band practice that was the genesis of any song in history, which one would it be, and why is it War Pigs? I love War Pigs. Wow. Give me a minute. Give me a minute on that one, because that's a tough one. I need to process that a little bit, because my immediate... This is going to surprise quite a few people. My immediate response is girls just want to have fun. No, I'm kidding. My Hero from Foo Fighters. I don't know why. That's what immediately popped into my head. But I think I want to think on it a little more. Let me process that for a little bit. Kayla, you got something?
You know what? Yeah, I totally did not talk about our surprise guest Friday night. Our surprise guest,
Here?
So we had a snowstorm.
Oh boy.
Friday night, and a lot of people are well aware. I feed a lot of outdoor kitties. I put food out, and most of them just run away when I open the door up because they're feral or stray, or sometimes they have been other people's indoor-outdoor kitties that just don't take good care of them, and they come to my house to get food. Well, most of the time, they always come at night. Sometimes, very rarely do you see one coming during the day. And it was pouring down, snowing. Like, it was coming down pretty hard. And one of the regular kitties came up on the porch, and they were meowing, and just they were trying to walk in the house. It was kind of funny because that cat has never done that before, but as soon as we were trying to let it come in, it would run back out. Well, anyway, a little bit after that happened, I was in the kitchen and I hear a meow, and I'm looking everywhere, and I'm like, that's not one of my cats. And I look out my back door, and this cat is on my back door porch, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. It's begging to come in. So I couldn't leave it outside. So I'm holding this cat. It let me pick it up where it normally would run away. It wouldn't even let me near it. It let me hold it and carry it. John's standing there the whole time. He's like, no. And I walk past him. He goes, no, don't do it.
She's telling you the truth.
I'm carrying this cat upstairs while he's telling me no. And I'm putting it in the bathroom. And then I'm going and finding like a box. I cut the box up so I can make a kitty litter box. And I'm stuffing stuff in it so it wasn't just a cardboard box. I put kitty litter in it and I stick it on a tote top and put it in the bathroom. And I put food in there and give it a little bed. And I did a video on it on my channel, just this little silly one. And anyways, because I have collected so many cats and so many stray cats, I have trouble sometimes with names because I've named them everything. So this one, because it came to the back door, I named it Backdoor. So it's Backdoor Kitty. So I named it Backdoor. That was Friday night. I was supposed to take it Monday to the shelter to get it scanned to see if it was like somebody's cat. I ended up keeping it till Tuesday. And I put pictures of the kitty on Lost and Found pages on Facebook, shared it out, did all that. So, if it is somebody's cat, they could claim it. I was trying so hard to find it, its owners. But I took it to the shelter on Tuesday. It's a no-kill shelter. I know the people there very well. And they scanned it, and it did not have a chip. So Brandy, who is like the head of the place there, she's in charge of sending them to rescues and putting them up for adoption. And so this kitty is on hold till Monday, and they wouldn't name it Backdoor Kitty. They wouldn't label it that way. So they asked me my middle name, and I said Marie. So the kitty is there as Marie. So if you watch my video about this cute kitty, she's so sweet and loving. There's no way she's feral. There's just no way. I think she was just thrown out and abandoned. If you watch that video and you like her and you want a kitty and you live close by and you can come to King George Animal Shelter, you have to get Marie. She's awesome. But there. I've been checking on her. I call every day and check on her. And they said she's doing awesome.
So Edge of Society prod, I'm still not able to come up with anything better. And here's why. I like a lot of bands. I like bands like Stained and Slipknot. And I also I have a very diverse library of music. Tool, Breaking Benjamin. I even like some emo bands. I like Green Day, like so many things. But almost all of my favorite songs are either about death, suicide, depression, or drugs.
Wow. Interesting.
So that makes it difficult for me to want to be the guy that maybe inspired that, because I've never been a drugs person. I don't even drink. I don't obsess over death, and I'm not, So I think My Hero is still I think that's a great, or maybe American Idiot from Green Day, even though that is a little too political for my taste, but still, I don't know. I'm still, My Hero is such a great, good, easygoing song. Maybe not like War Pigs. So I'm going to stick with My Hero because it's nice.
Scuba Steve said, John loves Boyz II Men and Backstreet Boys. What's wrong with that?
Hey,
I love them.
If you were alive in the 90s,
Heck yeah.
you liked Boyz II Men. I don't know about Backstreet Boys.
And New Kids on the Block. And, oh, yeah. They were all...
Now you're really showing your age when you talk about New Kids on the Block.
Why do we got to talk about my age?
Well, you're the one that brought them up. I didn't bring them up. Kayla, 87, 36-gallon to 15-gallon upgrade. We have 5 glowfish tetras and a dwarf gourami. Any ideas of what to add to the community? So I think you're saying you're going from 15 to 36. Because 36 to 15 is not exactly an upgrade. You know what? Any community fish will be perfectly fine with those. I mean, it's they're going to be pretty easy to go to match up with other stuff. You're not going to get cichlids and all that other stuff. You're going to go with community fish. You even said, any ideas on what to add to the community? We have our favorites. They're the same ones we say every single time. The harlequins and the rummy nose and angels, but
I saw some glow light tetra yesterday, and I was like, ooh, I kind of like those, and I almost got them. I mean, I have a tank that I could quarantine them in, but I did not do it. I did not do what you think I would have done.
The video revealing the fish that we got for our 2 nanos comes out this weekend, by the way, if you want a good idea of some community fish, because it's not going to just be, here's our fish. I'm going to go through a bunch of tanks that we looked at House of Tropicals. So if you want to see a lot of tanks from House of Tropicals, a lot of good ideas for 5-gallon tanks, be sure to watch that video on Sunday.
An update as far as the little nano tanks go and the plants, we have not killed them.
Not one.
They are thriving. They are
great.
Growing, and they're doing great. My Rotala actually needs to be trimmed. It's like my tank is almost completely filled in all the way. Like, I did that. And I've been working on it, and I finally figured it out, and I'm so happy.
Mine looks pretty daggone good too.
It does. I see it.
Jerry's Fish Room says the Blind Fish Keeper's challenge is to escape a tank blindfolded.
Oh.
Check his channel out. That's an amazing challenge. We might be able to talk about that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be interesting. What a cool thing.
That is a cool idea.
I think I heard something vaguely about that. I don't remember where.
We've got 9 minutes left, and I got to get through these here real quick. Jeff H., a 13-month freebie. What a ride. Had to put an OB Peacock in timeout. He doesn't like it. That's the point. 2 to 3 weeks enough. What's your starting point? So here's the deal. My Dragon Blood that I put in timeout for like a month, put him back in, just as much of a jerk as he was when I took him out.
That's why I'm having to take care of another fish so he doesn't lose it.
Yeah, it's welcome to African cichlids. It's a struggle. You might put them in there 2 to 3 weeks and then put them back in and everything's fine. Or it could go south again.
But when you put it back in, don't just put him back in the tank the exact same way. Do a water change, move some stuff around, move your rocks around, the decorations. That way, when you're putting the new fish back or the jerk fish back in, maybe they can restart, who's
hierarchy.
the dominant fish in there. But you definitely want to shake it up a bit.
And I did not do that in my 240, by the way, because it's a 240 and it's really tall and it was hard to do. Rustic Nashville, thanks for all y'all do. Thank you so much. Every week she's spoiling us.
Oh, and you know what? I have seen, because she's so awesome, I've seen her saying stuff about the fish in the chat. And I've also seen a couple people asking when we're getting betas next. And I have a shipment coming in for reals this time.
Next week?
Early next week. But they will not be back up on the website. They're not going to, the brand new ones won't be up next week because obviously I want to keep an eye on them, make sure they're not sick or anything like that, which I have not had a problem with in the past, but I still like to be cautious before, I put a fish up on the website that's going to go out to you guys. So I do have some coming in. I have some really good ones coming in actually. So, and I do have a few that I need to put back up on the website that haven't made it. Sometimes I get fish in and they have been in bags and they come to me and I don't see it until I put them in their container, but they've fin nipped. Well, obviously when they do that, I can't post them on the website being for sale. So I have to wait a few weeks, a month, sometimes 2 months for their fins to get back to normal. So I do have some of those coming back up. And of course, because I've had them for a couple months to repair their fins, they're going to be not as much as what, one that has come in brand new. So they won't be in the new arrival section.
Danikin Aquatics put in $10 towards the Marie Fund for Lisa.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I did thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, Kenny. I did donate. I didn't tell you this, but I gave him $100.
You gave the shelter $100?
Yeah.
Good.
And she asked me, she said, do you care what this goes towards? Because we have a lot of...
yeah, it goes towards not killing cats.
Well, she was saying how they have a lot of animals in need of vet care right now. And I was like, put it towards whichever animal needs it the most. So.
Very good. I support that 100%. Catwoman VA, thoughts on the Commanders? Here we go. I'm torn from a big military family, multiple branches, but it's not very original, and there's no logo, only the W followed up by Hail to the Redskins. That's what HTTR stands for. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in no way capable of speaking of whether or not that word is offensive. Not Commanders, but the R word, because I'm not somebody that would be offended by that word. So it's a struggle for me. I'm 47 years old, and for 46 years, I was a fan of that team under one name. And it's difficult for me to be okay with any other name. Commanders, it doesn't sound right to me.
It's better than the Washington football team. That sounded stupid.
I feel like I would have rather them just be called Washington. I'm just Commanders. I get why they did it, the military and all, and that's great. That's awesome. It just seems weird to me. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not somebody that was offended by that. I wouldn't be, because I'm not a Native American or anything. So I don't know if I can't speak to whether or not the R word is offensive or not, but it's the only one I know. And so it is difficult to see them as anything else.
They should have just named them like Nationals, but not good football team.
That it would say that too on the helmet. It would say Nationals, but not good.
Football team.
We can't do Nationals. You can't have two teams the same. But I mean, there was a lot of rumors out there of like monuments and like all kinds of names. I don't. The point I'm trying to make is nothing would have worked for me. I thought the Washington football team was stupid. I think that even if it was a placeholder, I think they could have done better than that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. And maybe someday we'll move away from here and I'll find a new team and it won't matter to me. Who knows? Mandy Boyd, glad I was able to catch the live stream tonight. Haven't been able to in a while. Love you guys and everything you do for the community. Keep doing what you do. The world needs more people like you. After what I just said?
Thank you.
She was like, oh man, I pushed send too fast. I wish I could take that back. No, thank you very much for that, Mandy. I try not to be a jerk, but sometimes it's just my nature. That's just what I do. But Bugman's in here.
He says,
not a good football team. Bugman lives here. He's a friend.
And
he knows.
Speaking of him, I was just talking to you either this morning. I think it was this morning about Katie, how she put up a really interesting. It was a post about a article that had to do with Native Americans and like the ones from this area where they originated from and along the Rappahannock River. And I get so caught up into that stuff because I just...
Local history is cool.
Yeah, well, that, and I just feel so bad for them.
Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit the other night. But guess what? We are all caught up, and it's 9:29. We're on time.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So, folks, I will say my goodbyes to you here now, and I will turn you over to her, where she will say the official goodbyes to all of you. Sorry to end it that abruptly, but hey, at least we're ending it on time, and we're not stepping on James and Ed's toes.
And one more last time, happy birthday to Melissa Jeswald. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we think so much of you. And don't forget to go tell Joanna at the Small Escape congratulations on her 10,000 subscribers. So just want to remind you of that. What else? Well, thank you. No, it's not it. Thank you to the mods. We really appreciate you. Zengender, you come in here all the time. You're everywhere. You help everybody, and we really appreciate you. We appreciate all of our mods, and thank you very much. And thank all of you for being here, listening to us talk about random stuff and pizza and things that don't even have anything to do with fish, and you just listen and you tolerate our little jokes and stuff and talking about cats and all that other stuff. But anyways, thank you so much. And don't forget to go check out James, Fish Room Fever. He's next. And then I don't know the order exactly, but it's Fish Room Fever. I think it's Ed, Craft Ed, because he does crafts on his channel. They're really cool. And he's a fish channel as well. And then Rico Stan is after them. And, Thursday nights are a fun night. So just follow the crowd over to Fish Room Fever and then follow them to the next stream. You're going to have a great evening. But enough of all that. We'll see you next Thursday. Have a great weekend.